We got a good week this week. Oh, man. Welcome to week 8 right here on the Grit and Grind. Daryl, another good week of high school football.
High school football, another week. Like you said, week 8, Shawn. And so much has been going on in the last week, from last week's show
to this week's show. And it don't even feel like we've been here for 8 weeks.
I know.
It feels like it's still like week 4, week 5.
Definitely.
But before we get going, Daryl, got to do some early shout-outs. I got to give a shout-out to number 88, Samuel Finn from Southern Nash. He was down at the Pumpkin Festival.
Okay.
Had a good time. Yeah, Pumpkin Festival down in Spring Oak, North Carolina. Spring Oak. Stand up. He was down there. We had a good time talking about Sam. Me and him had a good time talking about football. Appreciate you watching the Grit and Grind. Enjoy it and appreciate you watching us.
And I got some shout-outs too, Shawn, I got to give. And I got to go back to JF Webb game we was at on Friday.
Okay.
And that's the thing that we love, going out to the community, hanging out with the fans, the coaches, the administrators.
Meeting people.
And we met Mr. Larry F., the principal at JF Webb.
That's my man, the principal.
The principal. I saw him on the sideline, didn't get a chance to speak to him. And I also saw the assistant principal, Miss Thomas, as well.
Is that my lady with the red glasses?
With the red glasses.
I know
her. She was there. So we would just want to say thank y'all for letting us come and film out there last Friday. We said that we was going to get this shout out to this young man, number 21 for JF Webb. Quay, he came
That's
up
right.
to
Quay
us
came up, talking
and said, hey, I'll be watching y'all all the time. So Quay, we're giving you a shout out. And finally, Shawn, I didn't get her name, but her she was the camera lady for JF Webb, taking all the pictures and stuff on the sideline. So shout out to her as well. But we got a lot of recap going on, Shawn. So it's about that time.
And JF Webb, hey, y'all owe me my shirt to say Webb was still waiting on it. So before we get going, let's jump into the Grit and Grind. Rewind. Daryl, a very big game. 2 teams undefeated. Over there in the Sand Hills, 71st, going to play Cape Fear, to play the Colts in the Colts house.
Yeah, definitely.
Didn't see this one coming.
Definitely did not see this one coming. This was a good game if you're 71st. 71st came in this game, like you said, 5-0, and they won this game 43-3.
They did.
And it just started up front with their offensive player as far as DeAndre Nance. And a couple weeks ago, he was the grind player.
Right.
He should have been the grind player this week.
I told you, that's what I said. He should have been it this week.
Because
he balled out.
I mean, he threw for 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. He rushed for 170 yards in this game. First touchdown he had was a rush for 32 yards.
Okay.
Then Pond ran for 58 yards or 54 yards for a touchdown. And then Nance finished it up again with another touchdown in the second quarter. And from that point on, they just kept rolling. And then that defense stood up for them with Fredericks, Dwight Drew, Gear, Moore. Those guys just played some good defense for them. So 71st took care of business. And if you're Cape Fear, it's one of those games that you say, okay, we learned from this game.
That's right.
There's a lot of football left in front of us that we got to continue to get better, get ready for the playoffs.
And if you're 71st, you know what we always say about 71st, Daryl? Right now, when they get going, it's like a machine.
Yeah.
It's hard to stop
It's
it
hard.
when they get going. So if you're opposing team playing 71st, you kind of got to do what Hope County did that first quarter.
Right.
Give them a hard hit.
Right.
And just hope that everything works in your favor the second, third, and fourth quarter. Because when they get going,
it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to give a hit when you can't catch it.
We done seen it twice now.
Right. And that's what 71st was doing in this game. So.
Now, the next game, Daryl, was for the Grit and Grind Franklin County Championships. The reigning and defending Franklin County champs put the title on the line.
Yeah,
they defended the title against Louisburg. They won. Now they put the title back on the line in Wildcat Stadium, and you told everybody, tough place to play right there. Tell me about that Wildcat Stadium.
Definitely a tough place to play. Bunn came into this game needing a win, and Franklinton needed a win.
Both teams needed a win. Franklinton was able to do it, 26-8. And if you're the Red Rounds, first of all, Ram Nation, stand up, number one. And if you're the Red Rounds, you just made history on the Grit and Grind. First ever,
I'm going to say that's the first time.
back-to-back Grit and Grind County champs. So that's something that another plaque that you can put in your trophy case.
There you go.
We'll be sending one out to Franklinton in a few more weeks. You'll be getting that. But just a good game. And if you're Bunn, You know, what we say about Bunn? Coach Andre's building something down there.
He's building something, it just takes
small
time.
steps.
Right, it just takes time, and the players got to continue to buy into his program and just continue to work hard and just go through these learning pains right now, because down the road, this is going to be a good team.
It is.
Yeah, it's going to be a good team.
And same thing with Franklinton, you know, Jamal Elks, Chan Thomas II, all of them, Herman Long, all of them, just play good football. And it's one of those teams that if you're Franklinton, you know, things can still work out.
Right.
Where you can either have a good season and maybe come through the playoffs in the back door, or you can say another stepping stone towards getting to a better season for a playoff run. Well, Deryl, we got one more game. Well, we got two more games.
We got 2 more games.
2 more games.
Yeah.
We got one right here in the backyard. Rocky Mount, Nash Central. Old school game.
Old school game.
7-13. That's the scores I like, Deryl.
I mean, we said that this was going to be a tough game.
We did.
And we talked about this game last week as far as Rocky Mount. A year ago, you played this game. You was in it at halftime. You was up, I think, 10-7.
Right.
And just you was not able in the second half to make plays to get the football down the field.
And to finish it.
And finish it. But this year, Rocky Mount was able to jump on Nash Central early. And it was a close game. And even that, Nash Central was still in this game at the end.
It came down to like with the Southern Nash game, Nash Central, driving down the field that last drive with the clock winding down that you're trying to score to either take it to overtime or win.
Yeah.
Tough loss for the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
But what do we always, you know, we said it's about Fike last week, and you can start to say it's about Rocky Mountain now. Week 7, week 8, Rocky Mountain, the Griffons, just coach better. The kids, they start clicking.
They start clicking, and they find a way to open it up.
Making that run to try to get a playoff appearance.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're Rocky Mount, you're 3-3, 2-0 in the conference.
Yep.
You're sitting in a good place. You got a game coming up with Roanoke Rapids this week.
Which is a winnable game.
That's it.
It's a winnable game.
A winnable game.
Yeah.
Then after that, you got a road game against Southern Nash. A winnable game.
Yeah.
After that, Franklinton. Another winnable game, right? Then you host Northern Nash at home to end the season.
Yeah.
You could be playing for the Grit and Grind Nash County Championship.
It could be.
You could be playing for playoff seeding.
Yeah.
If you're Nash Central, you just got to now get through this game that you got coming up. Then you got Bunn and Roanoke Rapids. Yeah. And get the 2A Big East Championship. And then guess what? Go ahead and start working towards a playoff appearance. If you get one home game and go on the road, or if you get 2. You know, this is a team now we all say about Nash Central, Deryl. They have established a blueprint of how to win in the playoffs.
How to win it, that's what you want to do, is make it to the playoffs and make that run if you're Nash Central. And our next game, Shawn, we was at this one.
Homecoming 2024. Second time we've been there, Deryl.
Yep.
It gets better and better. Can I say it before we break this game down and go into the footage?
Yeah, go ahead and say it.
Because Coach Gainey and the coaching staff over there well told me to just let people know.
Okay.
Because people been calling the Grit and Grind. Texting the Grit and Grind, sending emails over here to Studio 6 and 7 in the Gmail account, then send it over here, drop it in the chat, in the comment box that they got the best homecoming. No, Warren County, outstanding, great homecoming. Hope County, won't be able to get that this year, but we will definitely be there next year.
Definitely.
But man, that Webb homecoming.
It was nice.
It was nice.
It was nice.
And I can't take that away.
No,
Them and Warren County is like their side.
Yeah.
I can't put one over each other. Both of them had good food.
Definitely good food. Good
shout out to the lady with
atmosphere.
shout out to the lady with the wing plate at the end. With the wing man.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Tarboro. We said last week they had the best fish.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
J.L. Wells said they got the best chicken plate.
And they had.
I can't take it away from them. They do.
Had.
But this was a good game. Well came up on the short end of the stick, 29-26. Coach Lasserdale coached a very good game. Same thing with Coach Gay. He coached a good game. Like we said, Deryl, back and forth.
Back and forth. And, you know, with J.F. Webb, Hester right here running the ball for a touchdown. And then you got Hester again running the ball. And Daniels running the ball. But this game was back and forth. Good defense on both sides of the ball.
Right.
Both teams making plays when they had to make plays. And again, Louisburg defense showed up in that second half and was able to turn the tide a little bit, but it went both ways in that second half.
It did. And
you got Daniels again running for the touchdown.
And one thing about this game, Deryl, that I noticed was J.F. Webb in the fourth quarter, when they were down, they were able to go back and score the go-ahead touchdown with 2 minutes, I believe, left on the clock. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. And I'm not going to lie, Deryl. I said, shut the door. It's over.
It's over. But you had
you had Marquee McKnight, the quarterback,
that's what I'm saying.
the junior
Louisburg
quarterback.
Didn't give up because you got the quarterback McKnight that threw the ball down the field. He was hitting players like Brown, Austin, Parrish. I mean, that pass he hit the Parrish late in the fourth quarter
to get them in scoring position.
And it was just Louisburg just didn't give up.
And one thing I can say about McKnight, if I could borrow Stuart Scott's famous line, in that last drive with a minute left on the clock, you a junior starting quarterback in a big varsity game, homecoming at J.F. Webb.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure on you right now. Crowd into it, J.F. Webb is up. He was cooler than the other side of the pillow.
Yeah, he was cool. And
ice cold in his veins.
He showed up.
He showed up and was able to get them down the field to score the go-ahead winning touchdown. Yeah. Good game right here. We had a chance to talk with Coach Gainey and Coach Lass after the game. Yeah. Both of them said one of them games, they didn't want to see it in, but glad it was. If you Coach Lass, he said, I'm glad it was over with because we didn't want no more because it was just one of them games that kept you biting your nails the entire game.
Yeah, definitely did.
Well, Deryl, we're getting ready to jump into a commercial break, and then we will be back right here on the Grit and Grind for everybody's favorite segment, the Grit and Grind Players of the Week.
There you go.
You're watching Grit and Grind on Studio 67.
Nash Community College offers an Associates in Arts degree as a cost-effective option for students looking to transfer to a four-year college or university. This program requires a minimum of 60 credit hours, and students must maintain an overall GPA of a 2.0 while maintaining a C or better in each course to achieve junior status upon transfer. The curriculum includes general education courses in mathematics, science, English, and communications, ensuring a solid foundation for future academic or employment pursuits. Students benefit from one-on-one time with instructors, as well as a wide variety of wraparound services like subject-specific in-person and online tutoring and the Student Wellness Center. For more information about the Associates in Arts degree or the college transfer process, go to nashcc.edu or call 252-451-8367.
Back to the Grit and Grind. Go Warriors!
Welcome back to the Grit and Grind. It's time for everybody's favorite segment on the Grit and Grind to see who the Grit and Grind Player of the Week was.
All right, Shawn, and before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to the Louisburg cheerleaders for coming back from commercial. But Shawn, the Grit Player of the Week is coming out of Franklinton County from the Franklinton Rams.
Ram Nation, you know what to do. Stand up.
And number 10, middle linebacker, Walter Roster. Right now, in the Bunn game, he had 13 tackles in this game, and he's one of those players that is smart, physical. He looks to make plays on defense. Right, he's holding at 75 total tackles for the season, and he has just, as far as for Franklinton, has just been the key player for them on defense. You know, he's that quarterback on defense for them. And so this week, Grit Player is going to go to Franklinton Rams, number 10, middle linebacker, Walter Roster. Shawn, who's that Grind Player of the Week?
This week's Grind Player comes out of, and we have been missing him every week, because every week he just has one person who may do one thing that just kind of say, well, let me give to this person. But this person told me down in Pikeville, so you already know where we're going. They told me in Pikeville it's time for him to get, and he earned it this week. No other than number 3, the quarterback junior, Sidney Lancaster. And Sidney Lancaster just has been all over the field. You talk about 13 touchdown passes, 10 touchdown passes. Last Friday night, 139 passing yards. And we want to give the Daily Argus a contribution thank you for allowing us to use this photo. East Wake, 136 yards, 3 touchdown passes. North Lenore, 141, 3 touchdown passes. Eastern Wayne, 78 yards, 1 touchdown pass. Rosewood, 137 yards passing, 1 touchdown pass. CB Aycock right now is off to a hot start, 6-0. 3-0 in the conference. So this guy, Sidney Lancaster, has been the reason why they are doing so good running the air raid offense. So this week's Grit and Grind players are Walter Roster, the Grit player out of the Franklinton Rams, and Sidney Lancaster, the quarterback out of CB Aycock. You're now watching the Grit and Grind. Stay tuned for the Grit and Grind Marquee Games of the Week.
Nash Community College offers welding technology as a degree, diploma, or certificate. In this 5-semester program, students learn how to draw and read blueprints, the welding process, and welding safety. Students develop and master their skills in the classroom environments and real-world situations in NCC welding shops. With this degree or certificate, students can work as welders in a variety of fields such as construction, fabrication, and industrial maintenance. Most NCC graduates start out as entry-level technicians or welding apprentices working within the community. For more information on welding at Nash Community College, visit nashcc.edu or call 252-451-8270.
You just heard the Marching Warriors of J.L. Webb. I mean,
They was playing.
They were playing.
Yeah.
I mean, have a good, every time we go to J.L. Webb.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
They make sure we have a good time.
Yeah,
Good
definitely.
music from the band. I mean, I would, I want to see
Who's that?
Southwest, J.L. Webb, and 71st Band. Ooh. All at the same place, at the same time. It'd just be a good night of good music.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, Deryl, it's time for the Grit and Grind Marquee Games of the Week. Deryl, our first game.
First game, big-time game.
Big-time game
Yep.
in the Quad City Conference, the 6-0 CB Aycock, 3-0 in the conference. Golden Falcons, Air Raid offense, taking the ride down 795, stopping off War Boulevard to the Fike Golden Demons, who are 4-2, 3-0 in conference play at the CH Buddy Bedgood Stadium.
Right, so you on the bus?
I'm on the bus.
You
I'm
on the
leaving
bus already?
Pikeville. I had to stop by the little fruit stand, give me some oranges, some apple, and a watermelon.
Okay.
And give me a banana because the little fruit stand up there in Pikeville. I stopped by there and
Stop
got
by
that.
there, okay.
And now I'm ready to play football.
All right.
Deryl, I'm coming in this game. I'm on a 6-game win streak. Check. The grind player this week comes out of CB Aycock. He's my starting quarterback, City Lancaster. Double check.
Got a check there.
And if you look at this game, what I've been able to do in my conference is, number one, 54-14 against Hunt. Then 28-7 against East Wake at home. 34-10 against South Johnson at their house. But the thing about this game that scares me the most, Deryl, this Fike team always play Aycock.
That's what,
They just play them good.
They just play it every time.
Last year, 15-13 at your house. They beat me at my house.
Yep.
Year before that, 34-22 at their house. I beat them. 2021, 58-35 at Fike. Fike beat them. This is the team. And we always say in every conference, it's one team that just, it doesn't matter who the kids are, who the coach are, they just match up to you great. And that's not only in high school, that's in college, the pros, everywhere.
Right.
You got that one team that just can match up to you. For Aycock, it's Fike. But I want to talk to Aycock right quick before I throw it to you.
Okay.
If you look back last year, you could have won the conference. That lost to Fike. That lost to
I was going to say that lost to Fike last year.
It took them out of the conference, win the conference, and Fike and Hunt won, shared the Quad City County Conference. Year before that, you could have won the conference. You beat Fike, but then you lost to Southern Wayne, the senior night. We always talk about that game. They sent the seniors out of style at Southern Wayne. You lost that game, and Triple S won a share of the conference, and also Hunt. So if you are Aycock, this game right here is a very important game. Because after this Fike game, this is who you got. 4-2 West Johnson at your house. That's a home game.
Yeah.
Even though it's a home game, it's a strong West Johnson team. 0-6 Triple S. And one thing I learned in this Quad City Conference is, just because a team is 0-6, you better not, it ain't no night off.
No, you
because
better be ready to play.
They going to come hit you with their best shot.
Right.
Because you right now are the top of the conference, and what better for a team that have lost, that have not won a game to say, we stopped this team from winning the conference championship. Then after that, 1-5 Southern Wayne. And guess what that game at, Deryl? Guess where it's at?
Where's it at?
Dudley, North Carolina, Southern Wayne. And guess what that night is again?
Was the homecoming?
Senior night again.
Senior night. Ooh.
We seen what can happen.
Yeah.
Big game. Like I said, I got the ground play. I got Cindy Lancaster. Yeah. I got Fredericks, my running back. I got Elliott, who's ran over 1,064 yards. I got Zamir McLaren. I got Jeremy Johnson on the defense that's getting 10 tackles a game. Mm-hmm. I got Steele on the defense, a linebacker, 6 tackles a game. I got Grantham, another linebacker, 9 tackles a game. I got Marshawn McCullin, who's getting 8 tackles a game. So I got a defense that can play, and I got an offense that can put up points. But here's the problem.
What's the problem?
I'm going to fight.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that might be the problem.
I'm going to fight. And like I say, every team in every conference got that one team that matches up good to them.
And
for Aycock, it's Fike.
And Fike is that team. And let me just go ahead and start talking about Fike. Okay. Fike coming in this game, like you said, 4-2. The only 2 losses they've had was Northern Nash and Southern Nash. And in this game, you're talking about last year. They won this game last year.
Right.
15-13.
In Aycock.
In Aycock. And it goes right back to what we were saying earlier. Fike is one of those teams that can get on a winning streak and just take it down to where they make it in the playoffs. Because last year, after they won that game, they went on a 7-game winning streak.
That's it.
And the only team they lost to in the playoffs in the 3rd round, 71st.
In 71st.
Yep. So you're talking about this year they beat West Johnson, South Johnson, and Triple S so far. In those 3 games, they put over 100 points in scoring. Only allowed 32 points. So Fike and Coach Rocky Lewis has got these guys to buy into his system, and now they're playing that style of football that Fike is known for. And if you go back, key players for them starts with that quarterback, Pittman.
Yes, sir.
Pittman has put up 123 yards last week against Triple S. Then number 3, Pearl and Hill and so forth. And then you got Artis, the wide receiver.
Right.
He's at 244 yards receiving. And then you got a young sophomore freshman in Lofton.
Getting a lot of playing time.
Getting a lot of playing time. He's got over 200-some yards receiving. And, of course, your defense starts with Barbie. He has just been balling out for them.
Had him in Pee Wee.
Yep, you had him.
Every time you bring him up, let people know. Yep. I had him first. I had him in Pee Wee. And he was balling out in Pee Wee.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, he's balling out for Fike now. And then throwing Richardson, Hill, Ellis, those guys have just been playing good defense for Fike in the last 3 games. This is going to be a good game. We have talked about good games.
This is going to be one of the ones.
This is one of them.
Because I'm going to say it again. And no matter how you play football, it's always that one team.
Yeah, and this
that matches up good.
That matches up.
And this is the team for Aycock.
Yeah.
And for Fike, Aycock and Hunt, they match up good with them.
They match up, and for Fike to win this game, they got to start fast. They got an offense that can score, and they got to just start fast and slow down Aycock's offense on the defense side.
That's a hard thing to do.
And then cut down the penalties. If they could do that, you give yourself a chance.
And if you're Aycock, you got to come in at Buddy Bedgood Stadium.
Yeah.
You got to take the Golden Demon fans out of it.
Yeah.
The family, the parents, the alumni,
all of that.
The students, you got to take them out. You got to come in and you got to score like that.
Yeah.
Light up that scoreboard and get ready to get back to Pikeville.
But I think it's going to be back and forth.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
It's going to be going back and forth. This is going to be a back and forth game because you got 2 good quarterbacks in this game.
They can throw the ball, and you got a good running backs on both sides of the ball. And the defense, they haven't gave a lot of points on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard pick.
Very hard pick on this one. Deryl, we got another one coming up, and this, once again, just like this Golden Demon Aycock game, is going to be a hard one. It's Rocky Mount and Roanoke Rapids. Very tough game for both of these schools. You got Rocky Mount coming in at 3-3. Going to play Roanoke Rapids in the nest. Yeah. That is 5-2. 2 schools that are kind of in the mix of both trying to get a playoff run.
Yeah.
You got the road team.
I got the road team. I'm on the bus.
Tell me about the Griffons.
Oh, the Griffons are coming in this game, like you said, 3-3. Had a big-time win last week against Nash Central.
Okay.
13-7. But prior to that, they beat Bunn and they beat Holmes. And so this Rocky Mount team is like you said earlier, is that team that is turning things around and is getting that stride back, and Coach Battle's got the guys playing good football. Now, Rocky Mount played this team last year, Roanoke Rapids, and they won 48-0. And since they started playing Roanoke Rapids in 21, Rocky Mount has won each time. So as far as that is concerned, Rocky Mount's in a good position. The next 3 games, though, after this one, you got Southern Nash, Franklinton, and Northern Nash. 3 tough games. So if you're Rocky Mount, you want to get this win. And the key players for Rocky Mount is Parker, Mitchell, Harrell, Silvers, guys that we have talked about all season long for Rocky Mount. And I call them the playmakers.
Right.
Because you got to find a way, if you're Rocky Mount, to get the ball in these guys' hands. And in that game against National, they was able to do that. And defense-wise, you got Williams, Lee Jones, Dance. Those guys continue to play well for them. And if the keys for this game for Rocky Mount is simple. Continue to get the ball in the playmakers' hands and play some good defense. You're going to Roanoke Rapids.
To the nest.
To the nest. And they have lost 2 games in a row. And they're looking to get back on track. So it's going to be a tough game.
Say that again.
They lost
how many?
2 games in a row.
And they looking to what?
Get a win. So it's going to be a tough game. This ain't going to be an easy game.
No.
Not at all.
Roanoke Rapids is hosting this game in the nest.
Yep.
So that kind of gives them a little bit edge right now, Rocky Mount, because you got your fans there.
Yeah.
You can pack the house. And you can kind of get loud when Rocky Mount's on offense to try to throw the offense off from getting off on the snap count. But if you Roanoke Rapids, you're 5-2. Listen to these teams they beat. Northampton, powerhouse in 1A, just not this year. But powerhouse we always talk about on the grit and grind.
Right.
14A. Weldon, 14-6, right there in 3rd place in the Tarboro 1A conference. Then they played Pine Lake Prep, 35-14 they won. American Leadership Academy, 51-16. Franklinton, 10-7. Then they hit those 2 games, Southern and Northern, that they lost. They lost to Southern 54-7, lost to Northern 77. But if you are Roanoke Rapids, you go back and look at these records of these schools. Northampton is 1-6, Weldon 3-2, Pine Lake Prep 2-4, the American Leadership Academy of Johnson County 5-1, Franklinton 2-5. So it's been some good schools that you played.
There's some good schools there.
And now after this game with Rocky Mount, you know what you got next, Roanoke Rapids? You got Bunn at your house. Then you got to hop on the bus for the Battle I-95 and come to Dog Pound. Where in that game, 3-3 Nash Central, you could either be playing for a Big East 2A Conference Championship, playing for playoff seeding, playing for who's going to be able to host the first round of the playoffs. Will Nash Central, if they win, can they host it? Or if Roanoke Rapids win, will Nash Central have to go on the road and Roanoke Rapids host it? So it's a lot that you have to do if you're Roanoke Rapids. But you just got to get to this game and you got to play your best football in this game. And playing your best football means that now you got to go ahead and try to steal this one.
Yeah, you definitely got to try to do that. And that's for both teams. You got to try, because like I said, Rocky Mount's got some games coming up.
That's some tough games.
And both teams need to get a win.
This game right here for both these teams is kind of the one that's going to set the tone of if you make it to the playoffs where you're going to land.
That's it.
Now, from Roanoke Rapids, I got some players there.
Okay.
I got the junior, Bobby Hawkins Jr., running back. I got Williams, running back. I got Skinner, J.C. Skinner, wide receiver. I got Armstrong on that defense, who's been the leader of that defense. Then we got the former grit player of the week, Tevin Dahl.
There you go.
Then you got another person who said, hey, I need to be a grit player. Terrell Ham that's getting a lot of tackles. So this team is good. And I don't want people to look at this Roanoke Rapids team, Yellow Jackets, and say, you lost to Southern Northern, and we going to say it's a blowout loss.
Right.
I don't want them to look at those 2 games and say, hold on, maybe this team is not what we thought they were. This team is exactly who we thought they were. They are a good team.
This is a good team. And that's what I keep saying. If you're a Rocky Mountain, you got to be focused going up to Roanoke Rapids this week.
Because they hosted.
Yeah. You got to be ready. You ready to play. Get your mind on football. Ain't that what you say?
What Coach Donnie say? Shout out my man, Coach Donnie. I know he's watching right now. Coach Donnie, what you say? Get your mind on football, son.
All right, Shawn, our next game.
Our next game, Deryl, is right there. We're going to go across the water. We got Perquimans 5-1 hosting the traveling Vikings of Tarboro, who are 5-1. I'm the road team.
Yep.
Wait, where is it? Let me touch it. There it is right there. I'm the road team. I'm Tarboro. And I'm coming in on this game. And I'm coming in after a loss and a win. I'm going to go back to the loss, 47-23. They snapped the home win streak of Tarboro in Valhalla. But Tarboro, what did they do? Get back to business. Go up to Bird T, beat Bird T 49-0. get back to business.
Yeah.
Get back focused.
Yeah.
And if you're Tarboro, maybe that loss right there help you get back focused and get back going in the right direction. Your next stop now is in Perquimans in Hereford, North Carolina, to play Perquimans. Tarboro has been playing flawless football ever till that Havelock game. And even in that Havelock game, they played flawless football. It's just it was a number games, 3A, 1A. And, you know, Havelock had a few more players that you could sub in, where Tarboro, when they went deep into the bench, they started running out. But there's no excuses in football. But if you look at Tarboro, I'm going to go all the way back. Rocky Mount, 30-0. Hereford County, 48-0. North Edgecombe, 75-0. SWE, your rival, 27-14. Bertie, 49-0. I mean, the former grind player of the week, Cameron McDowell Moore, is still on this team, still running the ball. We saw what he can do. You got Mason Satterfield, you got Everett. Then on the defense, you got Cole, Coach Craddock's son. You got Bridges, you got Powell, you got Kip Biggs. A good team. I mean, I don't have to keep beating this horse with Tarboro. It's Tarboro.
Yeah.
It's flawless football. It's the best football at its finest in one day, what I call it. This is going to be a good game because now you get another test, Deryl.
And it's a big test.
A big test with Perquimans.
Yeah, because the Pirates are coming in this game 5-1. Only lost to Northside Pinetown 25-22. Now, last season when they played Tarboro, they lost 42-6. The issue in that game, from what I saw on video, was that the Pirates was not able to run the ball. They have a quarterback in Braylon Knapp that can throw the ball all over the field. And it goes back to
Havelock
game. You're coming up against a quarterback that can throw the ball. I mean, he's got over 1,700 yards throwing so far for the season, 16 touchdowns.
Oh, man.
If they can find a way to get more Morningstar, Derek Morningstar, their running back, and Maddox, guys, Brown, that wide receiver, Conway Gregory, going early in the game, this will give the Pirates a chance in this game because they're going to have to jump on Tarboro early.
Yeah, because you know what Tarboro wants to do, Daryl?
Yeah.
They want to control the clock.
That's what I'm saying.
That's their football.
Right.
Control the clock.
Right, and that's one of the keys to my win for the Pirates is you got to balance the attack. You got to run the ball. You got to find a way to get some good runs down the field, and then don't be playing catch-up. Because if you're playing catch-up with Tarboro, it's not going to be a good outcome.
It's not a good outcome to play catch-up.
Yeah, definitely want to do that. And cut down on the penalties, but also you have a dynamic quarterback. Find a way to get him to get the ball down the field. And that will give the Pirates a chance in this game because you can't look at last season and that score from last season. You just got to play your game because right now they are playing some good football.
They are. I can't knock them. They are.
And this is an opportunity.
This is another test for Tarboro. And what did I say when Havelock beat Tarboro? A big win in your count. If Perquimans can beat Tarboro at their house, that's a big win for the playoff push to Seton.
And you just got to watch out for that quarterback from them. This is the same guy that was there last year for them, but he's gotten a whole lot better as I think he's a junior or senior this year. But Braylon for them has shown up. And so if you're Tarboro, number 12 is the guy you got to look out for. Because if he gets warmed up and gets hot, it might be a long night. But we got to pick in this.
We got to pick.
I ain't going to come a pick quite yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, but
we're going to say for the quick pick. Well, Deryl, it's time now for the grit and grind.
Prime time.
Game of the week right here in our backyard from where the Studio 67 is at. Just going, 5 minutes up the road?
Yep, right up the road.
Battle of the Bridge. Homecoming for Nash Central. This is a big game for both teams, Deryl. You have the 6-0 Northern Nash Knights going to take the 10-minute bus ride. You only got to warm the bus up. You can just jump in there. Let's go.
Let's go.
To go play the 3-3 Bulldogs. For a lot of people, the Bulldogs saying this is a big game for them over there at the Dog Pound.
Definitely.
On the road team, I got to take the 10-minute bus ride.
But before you can do that,
we got an interview from our good friend, Deryl, Coach Ferris from Northern Nash. We want to welcome everybody back to the Grit and Grind with us today, Deryl. We have Coach Ferris, the head coach of the Northern Nash Knights. Coach Ferris, welcome to the show today, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Hope y'all doing good.
We want to welcome everybody back to the Grit and Grind with us today, Deryl. We have Coach Ferris, the head coach of the Northern Nash Knights. Coach Ferris, welcome to the show today, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Hope y'all doing good.
Well, Coach Ferris, one thing we know, you got a big game coming up this weekend over there at Nash Central in the Dog Pound. Your Northern Nash Knights are 6-0, have had a great season and a good first 6 games right here. So when I went back and looked at those first 6 games, Coach, just tell me, how were you able to keep the team balanced and well focused to make it to 6-0? But that's a big accomplishment for a lot of teams over here.
Yes, it's a big accomplishment for us. I really didn't know starting the season where we would be at this point in the season, even just finishing the non-conference part, the first 4 games. We lost so much production on the offensive side of the ball. We lost really over the last 2 years the most part of our defense. A couple years ago we lost some guys. In the 20 from the 22 season, and then
Okay.
last year, some of those guys came back, but they graduated last year, so we knew we'd be really young on defense, and that was really my biggest question mark was the defensive side of the ball. So I knew that offensively, we returned a lot of our offensive line. 3 out of 4 starters in their same positions, and then one, our right guard Mason Moore, who played as a tight end H back last year. So he
Okay.
was a starter, but in a different spot. So I felt like that could be a strength for us. And of course, Barry Strickland at running back, we knew what he could do. Um, and so, we felt like we might be a little more run heavy. I felt like we had a lot of question marks. And going into that non conference slate, those are not slouch teams. Hunt, Fike, Rose,
Mhm.
Conley. I mean,
Right.
they're tough. So I had no idea where we would be. I hate to say no real expectation, but, you know, hopeful. And
Yeah.
so very thankful that we are where we are right now. And, definitely don't take it for granted, and did not expect or, know that it would be at this point, but thankful to be at this point for sure.
Okay. And coach, I want to ask, as far as those young players that you got coming up, as far as some of the guys that you may see that can help you down the road, especially in playoff times, some of those kids that you could name.
Yeah. Well, defensively, Jesse Wade has stepped in at linebacker and done a great job as a sophomore. I call him a baby all the time. I ask him all the time, does he need a diaper changed? They're just so young. I mean, they can't even drive.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh my
it's just
God.
funny. We joke about it all the time. Like, well, you can't even drive. And um, and then but Jesse's done a great job. He's done a really good job. It's kind of funny because when we started off the season, we were looking at him as an outside linebacker, and then
Okay.
he kind of we really weren't sure about the inside, and he's like, I can do that if you need me to, and we tried it, and it's worked out great. Chase Griffin is not a young guy; he's a senior, but he has not played the last 2 seasons because his freshman year he had a catastrophic leg injury
Oh
on
man.
kickoff team, and so he's
Hmm.
missed the last 2 seasons, and so he is a senior, but it is really his only second year playing, and he has really been a great asset to our defense and played really well. Been really really pleased with him. So he's not a young guy, but he's a new face. Those 2 guys have really stepped up for us on the defensive side of the ball. And then on the offensive side, Cam Freeman at wide receiver, big tall kid.
Hmm.
He gives us a lot of options in the passing game, even though that has not been the huge focus necessarily of our offense. But especially when he's on, that helps a lot. And then we've had a new face, but not a young guy. Demonte Adams, he's a senior, but he's become a starter for the first
Okay.
time this year. And then, of course, a real new face to us, Miles Eatman at running back is a sophomore, and he's done a great job for us. The second game against Fike, Berrien was out with a concussion. We basically asked Miles to kind of go out there and win the game for us, and we leaned on him pretty heavily in the offensive line. So he's done a great job there. Of course, on the offensive line, the one new starter we have there is Holton Westbrook. He's a sophomore as well at right tackle. So definitely some sophomores there, and then some new faces that may not necessarily be young.
Well, Coach, we know you got a big game coming as we stated earlier with Nash Central over there at the Dog Pound.
Yeah,
Without giving the X's and O's, what do you expect out of this game right here on Friday night between your team?
it's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be tough. They've I think they've lost 3 games if I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
but
sir.
every single one of them's been a one possessions game. It's been tough. I mean, they had chances to beat Southern. They were right there on the knocking on the door to beat Rocky Mount last week, or at least time right there at the very end. And I believe the other one was Southwest Edgecombe, and that's not I didn't that was early in the season. I didn't see that film or anything, but I know it was a close game. There was like a 1-possession game. I believe they were trying to recover an onside kick at the end or something and have a chance to go down and win. So that was close for them.
Right.
So we know they're going to be tough. Rogers is dynamic. I mean, he is just tough. When he gets the ball, man, it is, you got to have your hands on him because he'll get away. And then they got some big guys. Obviously they can throw the ball a little bit now with Coach Lisa and Winston. So they present a lot of challenges. And the big thing for us, really, with them offensively, their offense, is that this is the first time we'll see really a true kind of wing tee. Roanoke Rapids ran it a little bit last week, but this will be the first time we really see a wing tee. And that is always a challenge for us because that's not our style. They play Southern. They play Rocky Mount already, and those teams kind of run similar styles, so they see it every day in practice, and for us, we don't. So this week has been a lot of trying to adjust to their offensive style and just kind of being able to recognize formations and try to pick up on some tendencies and just kind of have an idea of what's coming, try to have an idea of what's coming, because otherwise you can really get caught looking in the wrong spot and kind of look foolish if you don't know what you're doing.
Well, Coach, we want to thank you for being on the Grit and Grind today. And as always, we'll see you on Friday night. And now back to the Grit and Grind.
Thank you.
Daryl, we just heard from Coach Ferris. After hearing that interview, Daryl,
I'm ready.
You know what I want to do?
What you want?
I want to go get my Northern Nash shirt. I want to go to my locker, get my helmet and my pads. What my helmet?
Right
get my helmet, my pads.
You ready to go?
Go play football.
All right.
But I gotta get on the bus.
Yep.
I gotta take this 10-minute ride. I gotta cross the bridge because it is the battle of the bridge.
That's what it is.
And I gotta go to the dog pound. And I gotta play a Nash Central team right now that is their homecoming, and they're playing with a lot that night. But if you're Northern Nash, you're coming in this game 6-0. And if you look at how this team's just been playing good football.
Yeah.
Not even good football, great football over this stretch. You got a Hunt team that's 3-3, you beat them. A Fike team 4-2, you beat them. J.H. Rose took them to the wire, 2-5, but you beat them. D.H. Conley, 3-3, you beat them. Bunn 1-5, Roanoke Rapids 5-2. But if you look at this right here, when I look at these scores, 35-14 against Hunt, 31-12 against Fike. Then you got the Rose game, 42-36. You need to overcome some adversities, overcome some mistakes you had made to win that. But you were able to do it to get the win.
Right.
Then you go and look at the rest of these games. Conley, 55-17. Bunn, 56-6. Roanoke Rapids, 77. So let me say that where people can hear me again. 70-7.
Yeah. That's when Northern Nash started cranking things out
And
started getting that stride. And you start getting that stride, and that's what they was doing in these last two games.
And if you're Northern Nash, Daryl, guess what? You're hitting the stride at the right point of the season.
Yeah.
Because now coming up in this stretch, you got Nash Central tomorrow night at the Dog Pound.
Tough game.
Very tough game. Yeah. Then you got the Red Rams. You don't know what Red Ram team you get because they're coming to play spoiler. Whether they're hosting or they're coming to you, their mindset is we want to beat Northern Nash. That's one of the things that they've been saying since getting in this conference. We want to beat either Northern or Southern. So you got a Rams team coming in.
Another tough game.
Then you got Southern Nash. That could be for the Grit and Grind. Nash County Championships right there at your house.
Yeah, I don't even want to comment on that one quite yet.
Then you got to go to Rocky Mount.
Yep.
And guess what? At Rocky Mount, and guess what?
Another tough game.
And that could be for the Grit and Grind Nash County Championship. So Northern right now just has a lot going on. You, like we say, we can look ahead.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But they can't look ahead. You got to be focused. But the keys to victory for Northern in this game, it starts with B. Ryan Strickland, the initial grind player of the week for this season. Yeah. It starts with him. Then you got Miles Eatman running the ball. Then you got Wade. You got Griffin. You got Sutton on the defense. Northern's going to have to hit Nash Central with a mixture of offense and defense. And I asked somebody, shout out to my guys over there in the town of Nashville, big Northern Nash fans. You know, I'm telling you, Northern Nash, come bring a flag and put it in front of the shop in town of Nashville, because that is Northern Nash territory right there. Yeah. I asked them, what is Northern Nash football this season? Explain it to me, because I've been watching them on tape, and it looks like a different team from the two seasons I've seen before. And you know what they told me it is?
What's that?
Ball control offense, lock you down on defense. He said that's what we've been able to do the past 3 games. Run the ball, establish the run, and just lock teams down on defense and stay focused. And our favorite thing I would say, what you got to do to win a game, Daryl, cut back on the penalties.
That's it.
And do what?
And give yourself a chance.
And do your job.
And just do your job.
But it's going to be a tough game because I got to go to the dog pound.
Yeah, you got to go to the dog pound. You coming in, and Nash Central's come to this game 3-3. Tough games. Last week was a tough game.
Very tough.
Another winnable game for Nash Central, and they wasn't able to get it done, just like against Southern Nash.
Right.
Combined 3 losses that they've had against Southwest Edgecombe, Southern Nash, and Rocky Mount.
Right.
Total 15 points. 15 points is what they've lost these 3 games by. Right in each game.
You're right there in it.
Could have went either way. Could have went either way. So if you're Nash Central, you know that you got a good team, and this is another opportunity to take advantage of getting a win. Because the last time they won this game was in 2017.
A long time.
And when they won this game in 2017, it was 33-30. Key players for them at that time was their quarterback, Jarvis Griffin.
Remember Griffin?
Yeah, threw for 219 yards in that game.
We was at that game.
Yep. Lyons, their running back, McKinley Lyons, I think he rushed for 100 yards. And then they had Jay Smith, the wide receiver. He received 121 yards in that game. That team went 10-3. Went 4-1 in the conference. Maybe number 2 in the conference at the time. So it's been a minute since they won this game, but Nash Central has a good team to win this game.
They do.
They have good players. I mean, you start with quarterback Winston Lee.
The general.
We call it the general. Running back with Parker, Porter, Jones. Those guys have been playing good football for Nash Central.
They have.
All season long. And James Rogers.
The Rocket.
The Rocket. He's healthy, playing good football now. So offense-wise, they're there. And again, defense, Bellamy, Tucker, Wilkerson, Morris, Whitehead, Whitten, Silvers, all those guys have played good defense for Nash Central. For me, the key for Nash Central to win this game, control the clock. Time of possession.
That's a big key.
Time of possession.
That's a big key.
Long drives down the field. Do not let Northern Nash get on the field on offense. Control the clock.
12 minutes.
That's it.
Hold the ball for 8 out of 12.
Yeah, that's it. And then also, when you have an opportunity, take deep shots down the field. You got a quarterback that can throw. You got a wide receiver in Jones that can catch the ball. Give that opportunity. When the opportunity is there, throw the ball down the field. And then get the ball to your playmakers. Rocket. Come up with some plays to get it to your playmaker to help you with Rocket, Porter, Jones, Parker. Those guys are your playmakers. Find a way to get the ball to them. And then, like you said, cut down on the penalties.
That's the key thing.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. But I will go back to number 1, control time of possession. Control that clock.
And if you go back to that Southern Nash game, Daryl, that was one of the things they won.
Yeah.
They controlled the time of the clock,
Yeah.
and the defense showed up on 2 defensive scores and locking Southern Nash down. Southern Nash was able to get open and get going.
That's it. But Nash Central has the players to do this. They have the coaching staff that can get these guys in the right position to do this. So this is going to be another good game. Go back to the Fike and
Aycock
game. These 2 games, it could go either way.
It's going to be so hard, Daryl. I feel like we're going to be all over Wilson and Dash. We're going to have to be burning up the road trying to get back and forth.
So I got to pick in this.
I got to pick on this one.
But we got to do it right.
We got to save for the quick pick. And mention the quick pick, we'll get ready to jump into a commercial break right here on the Grit and Grind. And then we'll be back for the quick pick right here on the Grit and Grind. You're watching the Grit and Grind on Studio 67.
Your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Nash Community College offers welding technology as a degree, diploma, or certificate. In this 5-semester program, students learn how to draw and read blueprints, the welding process, and welding safety. Students develop and master their skills in the classroom environments and real-world situations in NCC welding shops. With this degree or certificate, students can work as welders in a variety of fields such as construction, fabrication, and industrial maintenance. Most NCC graduates start out as entry-level technicians or welding apprentices working within the community. For more information on welding at Nash Community College, visit nashcc.edu or call 252-451-8270.
Now they just heard sounds of the Marching Warriors of J.L.
Marching
Webb.
Warriors. I've always wanted to be in the band. Play the trumpet.
Play the trumpet.
I always wanted to play the trumpet.
I wrote percussion, man. Shout out to the Marching Warriors. Thank y'all for performing for us last week to put you on the grit and grind. Don't forget, when we come to your school, we get the band, we get the cheerleaders, we get the fans, we get the whole atmosphere to put on the show.
Put on the show.
So we definitely looking forward to that. Well, Daryl, it's time for the favorite part of the show that everybody likes. Those quick picks. But before we can make these picks for this week, let's see how we did.
Let's see. 19-6.
I won last week, 20-5. He's still in the lead.
Still in the lead.
41, 105, 44.
Up by 3.
I'm cutting.
I'm
trimming it. I'm trimming.
I'm going to hang in there.
I'm trimming. He getting ready to get serious, y'all.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to get serious.
I'm telling you, he getting ready to get serious.
I've been picking with my heart. I've been picking with my heart, so I'm going to have to stop there.
Yeah. I just told you you're going to have to get serious. Well, it's time for the quick picks right here on the Grit and Grind, Daryl. And without that, we got so many games. I mean, it's just going to be a good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see who's going to win. Because, you know, it was brought up to me, Daryl, by one of our producers in the studio, that needs to be some type of punishment for who loses in the quick picks.
All right, we're going to have to think about it.
We got to think about something. What the punishment going to be.
Yeah, because I ain't doing nothing crazy.
Our first game, Daryl, will be the 5-1 Tigers of Wilson Prep versus the 3-3 Kilt Pride. Kilt Pride, I believe, is undefeated in conference play. I think they're 3-0 in conference play.
Yeah, 3-0 in conference play.
Good game.
But Wilson Prep playing some good football. I'm going WP.
I got to stick with the Tiger Pride, Wilson Prep. Tiger Pride for me. 3-3 East Wade versus 2-4 Hunt Warriors.
I'm going Hunt.
I got to go Hunt.
It's that time.
It's that time. It's that Hunt time.
It's that week 8. It's that time for them to do what they do.
Right, to be able to make that push. 1-5 Northwest Halifax versus 3-2 Weldon Chargers. Good game, 1A football.
I'm going Chargers, though.
I'm going Weldon Chargers. I'm taking the Weldon Chargers this. 2-5 Southeast Halifax Trojans versus the 2-4 Warriors of North Edgecombe. Warriors started out slow, but things are starting to pick up for them as the season progresses.
I'm going North Edgecombe.
I'm going to go Warriors of North Edgecombe. Right now, we have not split. We have been identical on every
everything's straight down the middle.
1-6 Northampton County versus 0-6 Rocky Mount Pro. Here we go. Time to split. Here we go.
Now, I said I've been picking with my heart.
You've been picking
I've
with
been
your
picking
heart.
with my heart too many times.
Here we go.
It's crunch time now.
Time to split the picks.
Now, I'm going Northampton County.
Jaguar.
I'm going Jaguar. I got to keep my numbers up. I got to keep them up.
You know I'm taking the Jaguars. Northampton County. That's from school. Our next game will be the 4-3 Louisburg Warriors versus 6-1 Southern Durham.
That's gonna be a tough game.
Tough game.
Because that Southern Durham team is a good team. But I think Louisburg got that momentum going.
I think the Bird got that momentum going.
I'm going Louisburg.
I'm going Louisburg myself on this one. I think that went over well done.
I think Coach Lashley got them ready.
Let me jump back up north and let me get this Vance County South Granville game. South Granville versus Vance County, a big game right there. I gotta say the Vipers right now only have, I think, one loss. South Granville, no, they have two, I believe. South Granville only has one win. I'm taking Vance County.
All right, I'm going with you on Vance County on that.
All right, Daryl, our next game, 2-4 Bird T versus the 4-2 Gates County Red Barons.
I'm gonna go. I know Bertie had a tough loss against Tarboro last week.
They did.
I'm gonna stick with Bertie though.
You stick with the
I'm
Falcons?
sticking with Bertie.
Windsor, North Carolina, the Falcons.
Yeah, Bertie. I'm going with Bertie.
Red Barons, let's fly that plane, Red Barons. I'm going Gates County. Now we splitting. 1-5 Hereford County Bears versus 3-3 First Flight Falcons. And before we make this pick, I have to say it again. It's not the Falcons of First Flight. It should be an airplane.
Oh, you keep
it
saying the airplane.
It should be Wilbur and Orville Wright. We still have the challenge out. The challenge now has been out for a good 8 years. Somebody at First Flight dress up like Wilbur and Orville Wright, tag Studio 67 NCC Instagram, Grit and Grind Podcast NC Instagram, and tag us in it, and we'll shout you out. Dress up like Wilbur and Orville Wright for this game.
Well,
who you got, Daryl?
I got Hereford County. After all of that,
After all that,
I got Hereford County.
You taking the Bears?
I'm taking the Bears.
I'm going with First Flight.
You going First Flight?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Our next game will be Clinton versus West Bladen. Clinton 0-6 versus the 1-4 West Bladen.
I'm going Clinton on this one. I know they haven't won a game, but these kids are playing good football.
They are. They're starting to find a way.
They're finding a way, so I'm going Clinton.
I'm taking Clinton in this one, too. Our next game, 6-0 71st versus 5-1 Jack Brick. Another big game.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. This is another big game down there in the Fayetteville area. I'm going to go 71st. I
thought you were going to go Jack Brick.
No. Not the way 71st played last week. No.
See, I tried to get a change of pick, y'all.
It's going to be, as long as 71st is ready to play, which I know they will be.
Right.
And get focused and continue to do what they do. Yeah, 71st is going to take care of business. I'm going 71st in this game.
Our good friend Coach Malone has 71st playing lights out right now. Can't pick against them right now. I'm sticking with the Falcons 71st. Give the Falcons. Our next game, Daryl, will be the 1-4 Bedingfield Bruins versus the 4-2 Panthers of North Johnson. Hard pick.
I'm going Bedingfield.
We got to pick this one.
I'm going Bedingfield. Who you got?
Bedingfield. You go Bedingfield.
I'm going Bedingfield. Who you got? Who you got?
I gotta go North. I'm sorry, Bedingfield.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Not the come on home, Shawn. All of that. Come on home, Shawn. You going against your team?
I gotta go against this week.
All right.
It's crunch time. It's crunch time now. Bedingfield, make me wrong. Make that pick wrong for Bedingfield. 4-3 Rosewood versus 0-6 Union. Rosewood Eagles playing good football.
Yeah, they playing good. I'm going Rosewood.
I'm going Rosewood.
Yeah.
Our next game, 1-5 Southern Wayne versus 3-3 South Johnson. Big game.
I picked Southern Wayne.
You sticking with it?
I'm sticking with Southern Wayne.
Final answer.
Yep, final answer. Southern Wayne.
Give me the South Johnson Trojans. Give me South Johnson. 0-6 Goldsboro versus 2-4 Princeton Bulldogs. A Princeton Bulldog team that we thought would be 4-2.
Yeah.
Maybe 6-0, 7-0,
definitely.
6-1.
But I'm going Princeton on this.
I'm going Princeton. They got to start. They're starting to build now to try to make a run to get in.
Get in playoffs.
1-4 Spring Creek versus the 4-2 Eastern Wayne Warriors.
I picked Spring Creek last week. I'm sticking with Spring Creek.
Stick with Spring Creek.
Spring Creek.
I'm going to take in that one Eastern Wayne. Give me those Warriors. 0-6 Triple S versus 4-2 West Johnson. Another one of these teams in Quad City trying to get in playoffs. This is the push time now.
West Johnson for me.
I got to go West Johnson. Got to go with the Cougars of West Johnson. 1-6 Hope County, the Fighting Bucks of Hope County. Versus the 2-4 Southern League Cavaliers.
I'm going to go Hope.
I'm going to go Hope County in this one. I think Hope County gets a win and try to make a last-minute push to be one of those road teams to get in the playoffs. 3-4 Green Central Rams versus the 3-3 Washington. And my favorite name for a mascot, the Pam Pack. The Pam Pack is back on the Grit and Grind. Welcome back, Pam Pack. You can just ride so much with that name.
Yeah, you can do so much with that.
With all that said,
I'm going Green Central.
I'm going to take the Pam back.
You taking Pam back?
Come on, Pam back. Our next game, Daryl, 5-2 Kingston. A school that nobody saw being 5-2 in football.
That's all I'm going to say. Not
a basketball school.
No, basketball all day long.
Basketball city right there.
Yeah.
Basketball town. 5-2 versus 6-0 James Keenan. Good game over there in that Lenore, Sampson County area. If you're in that area, you may want to check that one out.
I'm going James Keenan.
Going Keenan?
Yeah, going Keenan.
I'm going Kingston Vikings.
You going Kingston?
K-Town.
Okay.
Stand up, K-Town. 5-1 Roseville Rams versus 6-0 Millbrook.
Big time.
Big time game in Wake County.
Big time game in Wake. I'm going Roseville.
You going Roseville?
I'm going to go stick with Roseville.
I'm going Millbrook.
You going Millbrook?
I'm going Millbrook.
Okay, all right.
6-0 the Clayton Comets versus 1-4 South Garner.
Clayton. Yeah, Clayton Comets.
I tell you, when Brian says go with Clayton, I go with Clayton. I talked to my boy Brian. I'm sticking with Clayton this week. Give me Clayton.
All right.
Our next game, Daryl, 6-0 Southern Nash versus 1-5 Bunn. This is homecoming for Southern Nash.
Yeah, this is our homecoming.
This is our homecoming. Yeah. That's right. Our homecoming. You heard that, Grit Grind. He reminds you every week that he's a Southern Nash alumni.
You know, that's our homecoming. Yeah.
That's right. And you're hosting the Wildcats.
Hosting the Wildcats. I'm going Southern Nash.
All right, before you made your pick, before we switch, I made my pick. Any words you want to give the Firebirds for this game? Or what you want to see them do?
Just stay focused.
Stay focused.
Be ready to play. That's about it. Yeah, that's the big thing because Southern Nash had a good game last week.
Right.
Took care of business and just come in this homecoming and just take care of business in this game as far as with Bunn. Don't overlook Bunn.
I'm taking Southern Nash in this one myself, Daryl. Now our next game, 5-1 Corn Holders versus 2-4 Fuquay Arena. But before I make this pick, I need some help.
You need some help?
I need some help. I need some help from the Pirates right quick before I make this pick. Corn Holders.
You got no.
I got the Patchy the Pirate is back. He's back.
He's
Patchy
back.
the Pirate is back on the grit and grind. I'm taking Corn Holders for this game.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to go with you on this one, on this pick. I'm going Holder as well.
Corn Holders, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make Fuquay Arena walk the plank. Keep that 20. And also, Corn Holders, breaking news right here on the Grit and Grind.
Yep.
We will be in Clayton next week for the Clayton Comets Corn Holders game. Corn Holders, Clayton, we heard your request. We coming to see you next week.
All right.
I'm bringing my pirate hat,
Bring
too.
your pirate hat.
Yeah, Cornhole's having another pirate hat. Having one better than this one. Our next game, Daryl, it's time for the Grit and Grind marquee games of the week. 6-0 CBA Aycock, 3-0 in the conference play versus 4-2 Wilson Fike, who is undefeated in conference play. Big game over there at the C.H. Betty Budgood Stadium.
Yeah, this is a big-time game. I'm going Wilson. I'm going Fike.
You going Fike?
I'm going Fike in this. I think Pittman, the quarterback orders, those guys are going to show up. I think Coach Rikey's going to have these guys ready to play. They're going to be fired up. It's a big-time game for them, playing at home. Yeah. I mean, because also getting this game win is like we said, down the road to the playoffs. This is that game that starts everything. So I'm going Fike.
This is one you got to have highlighted because this game right is for playoff seeding. Yeah. This is definitely a playoff seeding game. But not so fast, my friend.
Uh-oh.
Not so fast. Give me Golden Falcons to come in to fight and get a good win over the Golden Demons. I'm sticking with the Golden Falcons.
Okay.
Our next game, Daryl, 3-3 Rocky Mount. Going up to the nest.
Yeah.
Going up I-95. This is another battle I-95
Yep.
game. To play the 5-2 Roanoke Rapids Yellow Jackets at the nest in Roanoke Rapids. Very hard game. Playoff seating game for both of these teams. Because we're getting down that time where you start, look, if the teams win, you move up into playoff seating. If you lose, you drop down in the playoff seating.
You drop down in playoffs. This is a tough game.
This is a tough game.
I'm gonna do a switch. I'm going Roanoke Rapids in this game. Yeah, I think Roanoke Rapids is playing at home. I think they have 2 losses against Northern Nash and Southern Nash. I think they're gonna be refocused.
This is one
and
steal.
This is one of the games that they got to take, and I think
they got to take this one because this is a must-win for them to
Yeah.
continue that push for the playoffs.
I'm going Roanoke Rapids for the upset in this game.
Final answer.
Final answer. I know Rocky Mount beat them last year.
You put all that behind you.
I think I'm going to have to put that behind me because this is still a good Roanoke Rapids team.
It is.
It's going to be close now.
It's going to be close.
But I think Roanoke Rapids will win.
Well, it's going to be close, but I don't think Roanoke Rapids is going to win.
Okay.
Give me the Griffons of Rocky Mountain to win this game because, like I said about the Griffons, you got a hard stretch coming up.
Yeah.
Southern, Franklinton, Northern Nash.
Yeah. That's
That's
going to be a hard stretch. So.
Our next game, Deryl, 5-1 Perquimans hosted the 5-1 Tarboro Vikings. The Vikings are leaving Valhalla and go to Hereford to play Perquimans.
This game is just like we said when we broke this game down. Is the play of the quarterback for the Pirates. You know, if Tarboro can control that, if they could control it and not get him warmed up, started, there's a good chance they can take care of business like they did last year and years before. So I'm going Tarboro in this game.
Well, to make this pick, I got to take the pirate hat off.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going with these Pirates.
Okay.
I'm going with the Vikings of Tarboro to win this game. Give me the Vikings.
All right.
Now it's time for the grit and grind.
Prime time.
Game of the week right here in our backyard. Another game that counts towards the grit and grind. Nash County Championship. 6-0 Northern Nash. What we've been saying every week. It was a quiet 4-0.
Yeah, we said,
a quiet 5-0.
And a quiet 6-0.
A quiet 6-0 versus 3-3 Nash Central at the Dog Pound.
Yeah.
Tough place to play in.
Yeah, definitely tough.
And it's homecoming.
Homecoming for them.
It's a lot.
Nash Central,
it's a lot on
we
the
talked
line.
about this. The 3 games Nash Central lost is a total of 15 points. They was in every game.
Every single one.
Every single game. Good defense, a good offensive line, good players as far as running back, quarterback, wide receivers.
Everything.
Everything. You're playing at home.
Homecoming.
Homecoming.
So can I say it?
Coach Lee got the guys ready to play. The coaching staff has got them ready, pumped up.
Can I do a speech?
Go ahead.
Will the homecoming queen sit down on the Bulldog field and lead her Bulldogs to victory over the Knights of Northern Nash? Will she do it?
I'm going Nash Central.
So the homecoming queen
I'm going Nash
is going to sit down to the field.
I'm going Nash Central in this game.
And lead her Bulldogs to victory.
I'm going Nash Central.
You going Nash Central?
I'm going Nash Central.
The homecoming queen will.
It's going to be a close game, just like the past games for Nash Central.
It's going to be close.
I just think the atmosphere is going to be right. The players are going to be playing. They're going to be pumped up. Everybody's going to be in the stands ready for this game. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a close game. But I'm going Nash Central.
I wish we had a video right now at Nash Central plugged in, linked into the show, because the student section at Nash Central right now is probably going wild. Because Deryl said Nash Central.
Yeah, I'm going Nash Central.
You say Nash Central?
That's what I'm going.
Okay. Homecoming queen, she'll see us down.
Who you got?
But she don't lead her Bulldogs to victory. The Knights going to roll in, and Northern Nash is going to win a close game. Nash Central will hit them with everything they did like Southern Nash, but I just think Strickland and Northern Nash just will be too much for me in that fourth quarter.
All right.
I'm taking Northern Nash.
You're taking Northern. All right.
Well, Darren, as we always tell everybody, we will be down at the Northern Nash Central game. We may try to get down to Aycock and Fike a little bit, depending on how things go. But, Darren, tell everybody on Friday night how they can follow us and watch us at the game of the Battle of the Bridge.
You can follow us on Instagram at Grit and Grind Podcast NC. We'll have live interviews with coaches, players, video of the highlights of some of the games over the weekend. We like that. We have that hometown feel.
Okay, that's right.
We like that mechanic, in the neighborhood that everybody knows they go to. That's us. So you just check us out right there on Instagram. And where else can they find us, Shawn?
And don't forget, you can follow Studio 67 NCC on their Instagram. Also on their YouTube at Studio 67 NCC. Go there, smash that like button if you like this video. Hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed to Studio 67, and hit that bell notification so every time, whether it's our video or any other video drops on Studio 67, you get a notification to tune in. Well, Deryl, we got a lot of good games this week. I can't wait.
Yeah, definitely can't wait.
Gotta say it again. I'm gonna do it one more time before we get out of here. Corn holders, we're coming to see you next week in Clayton. You asked for it, you got Grit and Grind. And Deryl, as always, we're leaving. Do you have the grit?
Do you have the grind?
And we'll see you next week on the Grit and Grind.